Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Retro Pop Planet. And I am in Manassas, Virginia. And we're gonna check out the album cover photo location of a very iconic early 70s rock band called Manassas. Now, this was a personal project by Stephen Stills after the release of his second solo album, and basically near the end of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And this was basically a rock supergroup that was formed with guys from other bands that were also having the same struggles with those bands. Some of those bands were also coming to the end of their road, and this was more of a let's just get together and have an old school classic rock jam, rock album. I was just made aware of this album fairly recently, and it is great. It's a very rootsy, classic, old school Americana, just classic rock influences. And if you're looking for just a straight up old school rock and roll album, this one is definitely for you. So while we're down here in the area, I want to check out the newly constructed Manasses Museum and see what kind of Civil War artifacts they have inside. Stephen Stills was apparently a huge Civil War junkie. So in 1972, as they were recording the album in Florida, on a whim, he flew the entire band up here and they took a variety of different shots with a professional photographer for the album. And he was a massive Civil War junkie. Now, of course, there were two major battles fought here, and Manassas Junction played a very pivotal role in those battles. There's also a fairly large car show that happens here every September. I think this weekend is actually the car show date, and I was out here several years ago before they redid this museum, and right over here, like literally right there, and I'll post some photos from that day, was the bus that was used in the movie Hoosiers, and the owner actually apparently lived not too far away from here. I've heard that he since has moved and that bus is somewhere on the other side of the country now, but he used to live in this area and I encountered it over there. I even got to walk on it and I talked to the owner for a little while. So I'll insert some of these photos as well. Well, that definitely was a nice little museum. So we're gonna go check out the train station now. So the photos I've seen from the video shoot is of course the main cover photo, which was the actual album cover. And because of the sign reading Manassas, it actually became the name of the band. There's also a random photo of them in a field that literally could be anywhere. And then the band is on a corner of a very old building. It could have been a number of old buildings here in Old Town Manassas. The entire downtown section has actually been revitalized, so I don't know what this little area would have looked like in the early 1970s, or even where that building could be located. But I'm gonna go show you the main cover photo location, which you've already seen in a previous video. If you've seen my old 97 video, I did pretty much a thorough walk around of this old train station. This is not the original. The original one burned down in the early 1900s. I believe this one was built in 1914. And without further ado, let's go check out that location. And that of course was right here. The Manasses sign that you can see on the album cover no longer exists. It was a hanging sign. It looked to be fairly large. Now we have an Amtrak and Virginia Railway Express sign up there. And those are the two lines that actually come through here. But everything else pretty much looks the same as it did. There's a bandmate here, and the rest of the band is just lined up here in the center. So I took a very quick photo. I was not able to actually get the video. There's a guy here having a very bad day. When I first arrived, the cops were here and they pulled someone off the train, and he is sitting over there underneath the station. I believe he was disruptive, and now he's stranded and he's railing at everybody. So unfortunately, all I could get was the photo, but I'll be able to loop in over top of that. So I'm gonna show you a little bit more of this downtown section, and then we'll end the video. I thought it would be fun to compare images. Here's the album cover, how it looks today, and now let's add the band back in. Inside the depot, they have this cool wooden model of the station. So of course I had to have some fun with this one too. There's some really good restaurants down here. There's some new restaurants that I haven't tried yet. There's one right behind me called The Bone, which is a really nice barbecue spot. And there's an Asian fusion restaurant. There's an Italian joint. I think there's a new Cajun restaurant down here. It's a really awesome place to visit. Pete Evick is the purveyor of Shining Soul Candle Company here behind me, and he's, for the last like 20 years, has been the guitarist and music producer in the Bret Michaels band. I believe he was also featured in Rock of Love, and apparently he's a very good friend of Bret Michaels, and Bret Michaels has been down here in Old Town Manassas quite a bit. He's been spotted here a lot just because he's been hanging out with Pete. They even have this really unique Tabletop Tavern. If you're into tabletop games, you can eat and I believe drink here. I've never seen anything like this before. It's cool. It's also a really popular brewery here, but they are closed today. It's Sinistro Brewing Company. And normally this is very crowded. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this little video about a record album photograph from a pretty iconic artist and group of artists who came together in a brief blip moment in time and came together with a really great classic rock album. I recommend you go check it out. It's here on YouTube. There's several different full track listings available. Anyway, guys, hope you like this video. If you do, please hit that like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite song is on the album. And feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.